Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hoppers. Today, joined by
Brett
of Enomyces, enjoying some more lager. Brett actually just stopped by to get some beer,
just to pick some things up
for a share tomorrow. And then Michael was here because he was like, "Let's just have a quick beer," and we ended up sharing a hype beer. And now I'm sharing another beer with Brett before he leaves. So we ended up having a couple beers
before
today.
I'm going to shop beer. So
yeah. So we're checking out beer that I got from Jenny in Sweden. So thanks a ton, Jenny, for the beer. She sent a box with lagers, which is awesome. And this is the highest rated I've ever rated a lager when I had it the first time. And probably the best like microbrewed lager in my mind I think I've had. From modern craft breweries. I was just remember
from outside of Germany.
And I think it was the first time I had a lager where I was like, okay, I'm actually really starting to enjoy this style. And this is from Brewing as well, and this is their Ekta Pils. So this is more North German centric. It's much more hoppy than the other one, Pivot Pils. As you can see as well in the glass, it looks like it's more carbonated. And they use German malt as well, and I know from Bayerman and then German hops, they don't say which one, but I'd imagine something like Hartau Mittelfrüh, Tettnang, Perle, you know, some of the classic nobles. 5.2% alcohol. So a little stronger as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is going to be great. Also pouring
it's
this
the
out.
same strength as Tipo Pils.
Yeah. Pouring this out, it was...
Ah, shit.
Yeah. Pouring it out, it was just like pouring the pivot with the nice, fluffy white head.
I can smell the cleanliness from here.
Yeah. I burnt myself on my barbecue. I'm smoking up some pork. Some jerk pork. But yeah,
it smells a bit smoky also.
Yeah, you can smell the applewood. I should use pimento, but that's not something you can really get here. So I'm using applewood, but it looks nice. It's like a very nice straw yellow, golden color, light chill haze. Again, fluffy white head. It just looks like what you want from a Pilsner. Dead on. Let's check out the aroma. That smells fucking exceptional, dude.
It smells so
smells
fucking good.
So good.
I had
so grassy and elderflowery and citric,
and like really like crisp, crackery.
Yes.
And, it's just it's what is fucking hard with Pilsner
Holy
is
shit.
to explain why some of them are just that have that extra level, because they kind of smell like the same, but they kind of do not anyway. Yeah. If that makes sense.
It's just because it's more subtle flavors.
Yeah.
If you compare this to Pivot Pils, which I had like an hour or two ago, it's definitely fun because this is much more fragrant and aromatic, what I consider North German, where the other one is so much more South German. Also because a lot of South German Pilsners are not as carbonated. You can see this just teeming
it really
with
releases like aroma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grassy, elderflower,
hay,
lemon peel.
I'm thinking of like also if you.
I don't know so much about hay. For me, it's like more just like a sweet Pilsner malt, like bready malt. I can maybe see a little bit, but I'm
getting a bit. Yeah, a bit. I agree on like the elderflower and the citric, grassy notes, but it just reminds me of sitting at Ebeltoft Brewery, where they have these fields in the summer, and there's just like this smell of like the summery smell of hay, fresh cut hay, or like I don't know what.
But it smells like a perfect Pilsner. I think this. I don't know. It smells so dead on.
Yeah.
And it's so clean.
And this is rated what is it, like 3.2 or 3.3 on Untappd.
Pivot is rated 3.1. People
off.
are idiots. But the thing is, because it's a lager and people aren't enjoying it too much.
Yeah, but it's crazy compared.
It's
to
become
what
one of my
else
favorite
is on the
styles.
market.
Especially like I'm not the biggest fan of the Dunkellagers and like Vienna, and I'm more
they
like
are my
Pilsners.
favorites.
Pilsners are so good. But let's dive in.
Yeah.
See the masterwork of Ole. Fuck.
It's
That's
just
good.
such a fucking
That
good
is
Pilsner.
so good.
Yeah. It's the same batch I had. I had this batch 2 months ago, and it actually tastes more or less the same still.
That's pretty
That's
impressive.
crazy.
Fuck, that's good. Really hoppy.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
North German.
Yeah.
Really like citric, grassy, lemony,
Yeah.
floral.
Slightly herbal.
Good amount of bitterness too.
Yeah.
Definitely more bitter than Pivot Pils.
Yeah,
and
but as you want.
that's why it's more appealing to me. I really love the North German Pilsners the most, or the more bitter and hop-centric ones, without it being like, IPA-like. This still tastes like a Pilsner.
Yeah.
This would be one of my desert island beers.
It would be my desert island beer,
You know?
especially coming in these cans.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
For sure. It's just so well done, and I think OO just really needs some credit for their lager game. But people just shit on it online. I hate it.
Yeah.
This is just fucking amazing Pilsner. This is as good as like the Sintner stuff, to be honest, and that is high praise because they make some of the best unfiltered lager in Germany.
And I actually probably like this even more because, again, it's more,
it's
the
more bright and more hop-centric.
and it has a bit more carbonation. It's a bit more zingy.
Sintner is also South German.
Yeah.
And it's ungespundet, so of course it doesn't have as much carbonation.
No. And again, that's just a matter of preference.
But I'm with you.
But if Sintner brewed
something like this,
it would be rated really high. I'm sure, like the others, because they are highly rated for being
lager
within the style. But this is just rated so low compared to just the overall style and the quality of this beer.
I see. So it's more spicy and peppery. Maybe than I remember from last time. It's definitely have a good like noble hop bitter spice, but it's quite well balanced with all the fruit.
It almost has like a touch of a slightly yeasty,
but
slightly
it's funny because I talked about it with Michael in the previous review, and that one has more of it.
Okay, even more.
But that's because there's not as much hops. I think you notice it more, and that's the thing with the gold or the South German Pilsners or Helles for that matter. Often you get more yeast character. But this is just exactly what I want from a Pils. Yeah. It's so good. I'm going to stick to my 95 from back in the day.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it all.
This is like the perfect
Fuck what
desert
people
island.
think about what lagers and Pilsners should be rated.
This is the perfect desert island beer. I wouldn't mind if it's possible to buy it from Sweden and buy like a case to have.
I think you can.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Like there's not a Danish Pilsner yet that is close to this, I think, because a lot of Danish breweries are starting to do it, and I think we do some pretty good Pilsner in our brewery. But
I think your what's it called?
Pilsner Dead.
It's
in the same vein.
It's very close to this.
But I think this is better. I think it's more rounded. It's a little brighter, but I think it's
a
also
bit more maybe fresh, fragrant. Yeah. It just.
But I think it's about the amount of hopping on this one. Otherwise, the mouthfeel on this compared to Pivot, Pivot is a bit more silky because it's got less carbonation. This is lighter and more crisp.
Yeah.
But that makes it more drinkable.
Yeah.
I think those are both are fantastic lagers. It's so fun because nowadays 10 years ago I started the channel. 5 years ago, when I went shopping for beer, I would always look for the stuff that would blow my mind in terms of crazy flavors.
Wreck your palate.
Almost. And now when I go shopping, whenever I see craft lagers from any brewery, I pick up the craft lagers. It's fucking hilarious how things change. But I just love it so much. It's one of my new go-tos, for sure. I think, to some extent, I would pick a Pilsner over a New England IPA. And I think a lot of people would be like, what? But
I think
it's more enjoyable.
I think
at least in the long run.
Yeah, in the long run, and like your average, New England IPA. Because there are just so many New England IPAs, and a lot of them aren't really that exciting.
Yeah, but if a lager trend start to happen, and everyone is all of a sudden doing lagers, we're going to get the same thing. Yeah. This is what was going on when New England IPA was getting popular. There was people who nailed it, and we were just drinking amazing New England IPA. Then the market gets flooded, everyone's doing it, and there are so many subpar examples. Right now, there's, of course, subpar. It's a harder beer to brew, first of all. Yeah. But there's not as many examples on the market for microbreweries. But if we get an influx of lagers too, you're going to try a ton of lagers and you're going to love it, but you're going to have so many. There's like diacetyl and they've got DMS and all these off flavors.
It just seems a bit off balance because it's so hard to get it in balance.
But I think that's what's going to happen if this gets to the same level of trendiness. But I don't think it will, because beer geeks do not gravitate to it until they've come like full circle, it seems, or when they've been in the game for a while. A lot of new beer geeks, what I see is like the only thing they want to drink is like beer that doesn't taste like beer. Yeah, it has to be super fruity. It has to be super candy-like. It has to be like all these things because I think it's fun and different because they're already because
Pilsner and lager is what it stands against.
Yeah,
you know,
and
you know,
also because their perception
it's the
of beer
opposition
is
to that.
this.
Yeah.
And the mass-produced stuff, which has ruined the reputation of this. So you go and you find something that's also beer, but it's so different and so flavorsome with all these extra things. You can't help but gravitate toward this. It's exciting, it's different.
Yeah.
But then when you start to get into it for a while, you start to rethink some of these things, and you start to look at some of these small nuances and like a lot of the styles that maybe you didn't drink too often. For a period of time, and you go back to that. Also because it's about exploration a lot, I guess, as well.
It is about exploration, finding new flavors, and I get it. I really get it, because we, again, as we say, we both have experienced the exact same thing, you know.
Yeah.
But
it's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
But you just
It's
have
so
to understand.
elderflower-like.
Yeah. But you just have to understand that, like, Pilsners or lagers is
really
what
hard to
craft beer, especially IPAs, are the opposition to.
Yeah.
It is, but that's what it's about.
100% opposite.
Yeah. And that's why Pilsners and lagers are being rated down, because IPAs and stouts, imperial stouts,
It's the opposite.
It's the opposition.
It's because it's like the exact opposite thing. It's full on, it's full flavor,
It's
it's
like this
complexity.
rebel kind of mentality of the
yeah.
IPA, like full on, really, smack in
and
the
I think
face
it's because
flavor.
it's also because craft beer as such is a rebel movement. It's
It is.
what you call a subculture. It's a counterculture against an already existing culture.
Exactly.
And the already existing culture was this.
Yeah.
So I think that's also part of it that plays
But
into
just
it.
not
Now
nearly
we've gone
as
into
good
a
as
whole
this.
like psychological kind of debate about craft beer and beer geekdom.
No, but
it's true.
like deep down, that's what it's about, and I don't think a lot of people realize that the reason why it's acceptable to rate like an IPA or an imperial stout higher is because
It has more flavor.
no, but also because that's what craft beer in your mind is about.
yeah. I think
It's
for
that
me,
rebel
craft
kind of
beer.
thing.
For me, craft beer now, if we're going to talk about the term, is not necessarily about being a rebel, but it's about crafting a product that is
But to people,
to
who are newer.
top tier standards, where it's like there's a focus on craftsmanship in terms of brewing something really tasty and with great ingredients and nailing what it's supposed to be. Whereas macro is half-assing it, making it as cheap as you can, and spreading it out in a
mainstream
big
product.
like most of what mainstream is.
Yeah.
But with beer becoming mainstream, you see more of. Craft beer has become mainstream now, and you see lots of big breweries trying to do, half-assed attempts at a lot of things. But as you said, like it's pretty much the, what a lot of people associate with craft beer is the opposite. It's maybe more like rebellious flavors and different things, and doing something that big beers did not do.
sets itself
And that's also,
apart
I guess,
from the
part
macro
of the
scene.
identity of craft beer. But I think for me, still, like the biggest thing about craft is producing something that is just like outstanding in terms of flavor and everything, great
quality,
ingredients.
no matter the style.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be essentially,
An IPA or an imperial stout. to
or
be
a
exciting.
super fruited sour or whatever. To some extent, I think even though super fruited sours taste like of more flavor than this, I think it's a simpler beer in terms
It's
it's
much
just
simpler beer.
because it just tastes like fruit, loads of fruit. This has like all these different nuances and things. This has just been a long rant video, but yeah. We've come full circle. I want to visit more old styles, and if you guys want to see it, we were probably going to do a battle between Fuller's Vintage Ale from last year versus a 10-year-old bottle. Going back to the old school stuff. I've been thinking about that for a while because I can get both.
Yeah.
09 and 2019 vintage, that'd be fun. So drinking some old school beer. A bit inspired by Johnny Garrett from Craft Beer Channel because he drank was it 2010 bottle, I think, where he was talking to John Keeling. But we've ranted on for way too long. How long is this video? I can't see. So
It's 14 minutes. So.
hope you guys appreciate it anyways.
Sorry.
Drink more lager, explore different styles.
Just appreciate every style for what it is instead of
Yes.
being so focused on what craft beer can be and what it cannot be.
And that was a fucking great point there. Yeah.
I just think that's what it's about, and I think the more you drink craft beer, you realize it's
But
just
I think
about
we're
a
everyone-
quality product,
yes.
no matter the style.
Yeah. But I think the thing is, a lot of us, both you and me, were more or less in that mindset
Yeah.
a few years ago.
But it's
Of just like,
it's-
oh, it has to be crazy.
Yeah, but it's I think it's great to go back and see that, you know, things can change, and you know, you can see, you know, you can see it in a different perspective with time.
Just look at the glass, all that lacing.
Yeah,
that's a proper fucking Pils. That was exceptional. So sorry for the long rant, guys. We just got into a spiel. So the passion bleeding out from both of us. It's amazing. But I urge you guys to check out Ekta Pils. I think it's one of the best Pilsners I've ever had. I would love. I like this more than Tipo Pils. I like it more than, you know, a lot of the hype Pilsners. I think it's just really good. And I think to some extent I probably enjoy it more than the Centners. The Centners are also fantastic, but the Centners are just a completely different type of lager because they're ungespundet. They're more like Keller beers. They're more fine. They're not as well hopped. They're also South German, but they're fantastic in their own right.
Yeah, and you might find your favorite style within like the lager.
Within that, you know,
maybe you like Keller beer better than this.
Yeah, or maybe you like Buck more. Yeah. I mean, if you prefer the caramel kind of malty, nutty flavors, explore more lager. That's I guess that's a final message here. So, if you guys had a chance to check out Ekta Pils from OO Brewing, let us know what you thought of it. Again, probably the best Scandinavian Pilsner in my mind. If not one of the best European Pilsners from at least a craft brewery. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thanks to Tanya, you made this whole spiel happen with an awesome can of Pilsner. So cheers and nothing, and see you guys in another beer review.